Ever pondered how a small sect from the Roman province of Judea evolved into the world's largest religion? Christianity's story is one of humble beginnings, a tale that winds its way through the centuries, gathering an immense following and exerting vast influence. It's a narrative that moves from the dusty roads of ancient Judea to the towering cathedrals of the modern world, a story that's as fascinating as it is complex. So are you ready? Embark on a journey to unearth the roots of Christianity. In the 1st century AD, in the Roman province of Judea, a new faith was born. This faith would eventually be known as Christianity, a religion that today has over 2 billion followers worldwide. At the heart of this new faith was a man named Jesus Christ, who was born in Bethlehem, Judea. He was known to be a charismatic figure, a preacher who captivated the masses with his teachings. His message centered around love, forgiveness, and the promise of eternal life. Jesus' teachings, however, were not universally accepted. They challenged the existing power structures and religious beliefs of the time, leading to his arrest and eventual crucifixion by the Roman authorities. But this was not the end of Jesus or his teachings. According to Christian belief, Jesus was resurrected 3 days after his death, a miraculous event that marked the beginning of Christianity. Following his resurrection, Jesus' followers, known as the Apostles, spread his teachings and formed the early Christian community. They were ordinary people, fishermen, tax collectors, and others who had been profoundly affected by Jesus' message. They began to gather in homes, sharing stories of Jesus, breaking bread in his memory, and baptizing new believers in his name. The apostles also penned the New Testament of the Bible, a collection of writings that document Jesus' life, death, and resurrection, as well as the teachings and experiences of the early Christian community. And thus, Christianity, founded on the teachings of Jesus Christ, began its journey. From a handful of followers to a global faith, how did Christianity spread? Let's start with the Apostles, a group of 12 close followers of Jesus, who after his death took up the mantle of spreading his teachings. Among these apostles, a standout figure was Paul. Not one of the original 12, Paul had a transformative experience on the road to Damascus. Once a persecutor of Christians, he became one of the faith's most ardent evangelists. Paul's missionary journeys took him across the Roman Empire, from Asia Minor to Greece, and eventually to Rome itself. His letters, known as the epistles, formed a substantial part of the New Testament and played a crucial role in shaping early Christian theology. Paul's efforts to spread Christianity beyond Judea and his success in establishing Christian communities across the Roman Empire cannot be overstated. But the real game-changer came in the 4th century with the conversion of Constantine the Great, the Roman emperor. In the year 312, Constantine claimed to have seen a vision of a cross in the sky before a crucial battle. He attributed his victory to the Christian God and subsequently legalized Christianity with the Edict of Milan in 313. Under Constantine, Christianity enjoyed imperial patronage, and the faith began to permeate every aspect of Roman society. From being a persecuted minority, Christians were now part of the mainstream. The subsequent Christianization of the Roman Empire laid the foundation for the spread of Christianity across Europe. By the end of the 4th century, under Emperor Theodosius, Christianity had become the state religion of the Roman Empire. Churches were built, bishops gained influence, and Christian holidays were celebrated. The faith that had begun in the backwaters of the Roman Empire had now become its defining religion. Christianity had now become an unstoppable force, reaching far and wide. The unity of the Christian world did not last forever. In fact, the 11th century brought about the Great Schism, a significant split within Christianity that still impacts us today. At the heart of the matter were differences in opinion on religious doctrine, cultural practices, and power dynamics within the church's hierarchy. The divide began to manifest between the East and the West, culminating in the year 1054. The primary issues were the Pope's claim to universal jurisdiction and the addition of the Filioque clause to the Nicene Creed by the Western Church, a move the Eastern Church saw as a breach of faith. This led to the rupture of the Christian world into two major sects, the Eastern Orthodox Church and the Roman Catholic Church. But the story doesn't end there. Fast forward to the 16th century, and we witness another seismic shift in Christianity: the Protestant Reformation. It was a time of great religious turmoil and questioning, and at the center of it all was a German monk named Martin Luther. Luther was deeply troubled by what he perceived as corruption and misinterpretation of biblical teachings within the Catholic Church. In 1517, he famously nailed his 95 Theses to the door of the Wittenberg Castle Church. His criticisms, particularly on the selling of indulgences, the idea that sins could be forgiven in return for money, sparked widespread debate. Luther's actions were a catalyst, igniting a movement that swept across Europe. This led to the establishment of Protestant Christianity, which rejected the authority of the Pope and emphasized the importance of reading and interpreting the Bible for oneself. So, in the span of 5 centuries, Christianity transformed from a united entity into a faith with multiple branches, each with its own interpretations and practices. The schisms and reforms were not just theological disputes, but reflections of the societal, cultural, and political changes of the time. Christianity, though divided, continued to shape the course of history. In the modern era, Christianity had to grapple with new challenges and changes. The Enlightenment, an intellectual and philosophical movement that dominated the world of ideas in Europe during the 17th and 18th centuries, brought about a new wave of thinking, a focus on reason, analysis, and individualism, rather than traditional lines of authority, shook the foundations of Christianity, leading many to question and reinterpret their faith. Then came the scientific revolutions, spearheaded by the likes of Galileo Galilei and Charles Darwin. These revolutions challenged the biblical interpretations of the world. Many Christians felt their beliefs were under siege. However, instead of capitulating, Christianity adapted. Some factions chose to reconcile their beliefs with scientific findings, while others doubled down on their faith, viewing these scientific theories as tests of their devotion. Secularization, too, posed a significant challenge. As societies began to separate religious institutions from the state, Christianity's influence in political and public life began to dwindle in some regions. This shift led to a more personal form of Christianity, one that focused more on individual faith and less on institutional authority. Yet, despite these challenges, Christianity continued to grow and adapt. In the Americas, it flourished, becoming deeply intertwined with culture and society. In Africa and Asia, Christianity found new followers, transforming and being transformed by local cultures and traditions. Today, there are more Christians in the global South than in the traditional Christian heartlands of Europe and North America. From the Enlightenment to the scientific revolutions, from secularization to globalization, Christianity has shown a remarkable ability to adapt to change. It has weathered storms of doubt and skepticism and emerged stronger, more diverse. It has navigated the shifting terrains of culture, politics, and society, finding new ways to remain relevant and resonate with people's lives. Christianity, resilient and adaptive, continues to be a dominant force in the global religious landscape. From its inception to the present day, Christianity's journey is a saga of faith, perseverance, and transformation. As we've explored, this journey began over 2,000 years ago, in a time of great uncertainty and change. The birth of Christianity, with its humble beginnings in the backstreets of Bethlehem, was a beacon of hope for many. The teachings of Jesus Christ, his death, and the belief in his resurrection set the foundation for a faith that would soon spread across continents. As we tracked the spread of Christianity, we saw how it permeated through cultures, societies, and empires. From the Romans to the Franks, from the heart of Europe to the far reaches of Africa and Asia, Christianity found a home in the hearts of millions. It's a testament to the enduring message of love, forgiveness, and salvation that resonated with people from all walks of life. However, the path wasn't always smooth. Christianity faced its share of internal conflicts and schisms. The Great Schism of the 11th century, the Reformation of the 16th century, these were tumultuous times that shaped and reshaped the face of Christianity. Yet each schism, each Reformation, led to a broader, more diverse church that could reach and relate to a wider range of followers. In the modern world, Christianity continues to play a significant role. It's more than just a religion. It's a tapestry of cultures, a source of moral guidance, and a beacon of hope for many. Its influence can be seen in art, literature, politics, and social movements. And so, as we've journeyed from the dusty streets of Bethlehem to the bustling cities of the 21st century, we see that the story of Christianity is a story of adaptation and survival, of faith and resilience. It's a story that continues to evolve, just as humanity itself continues to evolve. As we delve into the annals of history, we realize that the story of Christianity is indeed the story of humanity itself.